Hi, this video is about 5 great tips to help you improve your credit score. And still, even to this day, credit scores are one of the most misunderstood financial facts of life. And so we're going to talk about that here today. And it's so important to increase your credit scores when it comes to a mortgage. First, it helps you get approved. B, it may help you get approved for a bigger mortgage. Third, you get a better rate and potentially cheaper mortgage insurance on a conventional loan. Fourth, it will even help you get better insurance rates on your home and car. So I encourage, that's why this video is so important. So I encourage you to watch this through. My first tip here is all about, it's always important, you gotta make your payments on time. That's just, it's pretty much a given. And you don't wanna ever have 30-day lates on your credit report, okay? But the first tip I wanna give you today is all about your credit card limits. The goal is to keep your credit card balance at less than 30% of your limit. So if your limit, say, is $10,000, you want your balance to be less than $3,000. And if you can keep it lower, that's even better. And so know this with the credit card companies, they only report to the credit bureaus once a month. And that's usually on your statement date. So if your statement shows a balance, that balance gets reported to the credit bureaus. Often I have many clients say, well, I pay off my credit cards every month. But does your statement show a balance? Yes. Well, then that balance gets reflected on your credit report. And if you're trying to really maximize your scores, and I have done this myself, I will prepay a credit card off completely before the statement date to maximize my credit scores, okay? The second tip is the opposite side of reducing your credit utilization rate. The other thing you can do is raise your credit limits. So let's just say your balance is $5,000 on that credit card. Right now your credit limit's $10,000. Well, you're at a 50% credit utilization rate, which starts to really lower your scores. And as that percentage goes higher, especially over 90%, it will really drop your score. But what I want to encourage you to do in this instance, call and ask your bank or credit card company to raise your credit limit. If you could raise it, say, from $10,000 to $20,000, now all of a sudden that $5,000 balance is only 25% of your limit. And who says math doesn't pay? My third tip for you, if you have to have or are going to have a large balance on a credit card, I always encourage people to have that large balance on an older credit card, especially a card more than 4 years old, where it will maybe only hurt or ding your score 10, 20 points. Whereas if that high balance is on a brand new credit card, it may drop your FICO score by 50 points. So put the large balances on an account you've had longer. That is the best way to do that to improve your FICO scores. Tip number 4 is, and I see many consumers do this, is they close unused accounts. And I always tell my clients, never, ever close an old credit card. Because what it does, it will lower your score because now you just shorten your credit history and also dropped your credit or raised your credit utilization rate. And so, because it's both per credit card and per all your credit cards. So keep those older accounts open. Use them once a year. Typically, if you use them once a year, the creditor or the bank won't close them on you. So keep those accounts open. My fifth and final tip is if you happen to have collections on your credit report, especially medical collections, I encourage you to call the collection agency that has the account and tell them this: I'm willing to pay off this account in full if and only if you will delete this account from my credit reports. And about half the time, the collection agencies will do that for you. But you want to make sure you get it in writing from them, typically by email. telling you, hey, if you pay off this account, and a lot of times, a lot of medical collections are like 40, 50 bucks, maybe $100, $200. So pay them off, get an email that they will delete that account from your credit report. And I've seen that improve people's credit scores by 40 or 50 points. And that's actually, if we have that email or letter, if they don't do it right away, we can do what's called a rapid rescore with the credit bureaus and get it done in 3 or 4 days for you. And that can make a dramatic difference. So if you've enjoyed today's video with 5 great tips on credit scores, I encourage you to like this page, subscribe, share it with others. And if you have more questions or comments, please type them in down below. I'd love to see them and love to converse with you that way.